is. Luckily, we have Christina and Lua joining us from gitprotect.io, who will be able to talk to us about backups, etc. So just a bit of background, when myself and a couple of the other champions from Australia were over in Barcelona, we ran into Christina and others and thought their product was pretty cool and said, hey, can you come over and do a talk for us? So Christina, over to you. Tell us what it's all about.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Thank you for the introduction and thank you for having us. It's we are really honored because, as I told you, already took part in your ACE a couple of years ago, and I really enjoy it. So it's really I'm super happy to be here with my colleague, Luba. I'm a partner manager at GitProtect, and Luba she's working with customers. She's customer success, but she's deeply technical. So feel free to ask questions during presentation because we have a small cozy event. So let's make it like a discussion. And if you don't mind, I will share my screen right now and I will start. Yeah. Okay. So today we will be talking about your data protection inside of Jira and Bitbucket. My name is Christina, as I told, and I am a partner manager at GitProtect. Oh yeah. So a couple of words about us, about our company. We are a part of a bigger organization. Our mother company is called Xopara. Xopara is on the market itself for last already 16 years, and we are both SOC 2 Type 2 and ISO 27K certified. So for us, security is the main issue. Talking about Git Protect, we released this product a couple of years ago, around 3 years ago, and Git Protect is about the DevOps backup. So we protect GitHub, GitLab, Azure DevOps, and Jira and Bitbucket. And I believe Atlassian Stack was the last one added to this scope of platforms. So that's why I cannot say like when we were released exactly, but I think we are working with Atlassian for 2 years already. So overall, Git Protect is kind of a pretty successful product because in those couple of years, we have protected more than 1 million of repos. We have a lot of customers all over the world. We work in more than 60 countries of the world, and we are the Atlassian Marketplace app as well. But just to tell you that Atlassian, we have small revenues through the marketplace because we still mostly sell directly because of the number of reasons, because of the specific of the product. As far as I told, we protect a couple of platforms. So that's why a number of our customers, they protect Jira and, for example, GitHub, GitLab, like 2 platforms together. So that's why we cannot proceed much through the marketplace, but still we do have the app on the marketplace. Just to visualize everything I have told, Git Protect is about the DevOps stack. So it's GitHub, GitLab, Azure DevOps, Jira, and Bitbucket. Confluence will be released really soon. It has to be done by the end of this month. And when we talk about Xopara, our mother company, they protect a lot, like virtual machines, servers, databases, endpoints, Microsoft 365. And we, in Atlassian ecosystem, we are known as Git Protect, but just letting you know that we have a number of customers who protect both on the Xopara side and on the Git Protect side as well. So who are our customers? Of course, those who care about their data. But overall, I believe that our product is more for enterprise level customers because we have like a very sophisticated, serious approach to the backup because this product is made by the cybersecurity company. So we can really go deep in terms of features. So usually enterprise level customers choose us, but it doesn't mean that we don't work with small or mid-sized business. We do have Fortune 500 companies in our portfolio. We do have a lot of like public institutions, for example, state of California, and yeah. So I'm pretty proud of our customers, to be honest. Of course, we do have a high rating in Capterra, and sorry, I forgot to mention that we are based in Europe. We are a Polish company. We have around 100 people working in Poland, and we have 5 people in Ukraine, including me and Luba. One of the main questions, what do we protect? Let's focus today mostly on Jira because we are at the Atlassian event. So we work with Jira software and Jira service management. Answering the question, what do we protect? Almost everything. Maybe after the event, I can send you the wide range of everything we do protect because it's like kind of huge document, 18 pages, but overall, it's all you have in your Jira plus automation rules and plus assets. Why I emphasize on assets in particular, because we have a chance to protect assets with their original IDs. And I know that not for a number of customers and even for Atlassian, it's a huge issue. So that's just important to mention. So how does the product work itself? So it's a central managed console, and overall Git Protect is a separate SaaS platform. So if you are downloading the app, installing the app through the Marketplace, you will be connected to our SaaS platforms through APIs. When you will be installing the SaaS platform itself, you will simply have to choose whatever you would like to protect, meaning Jira or Bitbucket or GitHub, GitLab, or like if you or your customers are using any other platforms. We do not discriminate our customers in terms of deployment models because you can deploy Git Protect both on-prem and in cloud. For a number of our customers, especially like in Switzerland, when we talk about banks or like insurance companies, it's a huge issue to have the possibility to deploy Git Protect on-prem. In terms of storage, you can add any storage you want. By default, we grant you with our free unlimited storage, which is based on Wasabi. This is free and this is unlimited. But if you want, you can add any other storage like AWS, Azure Blob, Google Cloud, like whatever you want, or also on-prem storage. Again, for a number of our customers, the possibility to add on-prem storage to keep their data locally is also very important. And by the way, you can, for example, deploy Git Protect as on cloud and add on-prem storage or vice versa. So it works both ways. And on the other hand, you add Bitbucket, Jira software, or Jira service management to your manage console. Now I will explain why are we doing that and why right now it's important to back up your Jira in particular. First of all, because of the shared responsibility model. And this is a huge issue because when I talk to the partners or to the customers, the point is that they simply don't know. It feels like they believe that if they are in cloud, if their Jira is in cloud, it means that their data is protected and they will be able to restore the data whenever they want. It's not like that because Atlassian, and by the way, not only Atlassian, all the rest platforms like GitHub, GitLab, Microsoft as well, they say that they are responsible for the hosting, for the system itself, and for the application. But you, as a customer, you're responsible for users, for your marketplace apps, of course, for policy and compliance, and for your data. So that's why it's your responsibility to back up your data. So this is just a screenshot from Atlassian. So they are saying that if you are, for example, overwriting your scripts, deleting something, issues, project sites, whatever, like everything you are doing to avoid losing this data, we recommend you to make the regular backups of your data. So this is the same for GitHub and GitLab. I will just skip this slide because it's not the topic for today. Here again, this is a screenshot from Atlassian, and they are very clearly saying that your role is to create the backup of your data. Another reason for that is compliance, right? So there is a lot of requirements and overall, a lot of our customers, they say that right now it's a really hot topic, unfortunately, because I believe no one wants to deal with compliance, but still it's an issue right now. So for example, if you are looking for ISO 27K or your customers, one of the requirements for that is to back up critical DevOps data regularly and to test the recovery of this data, and of course the access control. So not everybody will have the access to your data. Totally the same applies for SOC 2 Type 2, SOC 2, excuse me. They have the trust service criteria, and according to that, of course, you have to have a backup of your data. You have to have the ability of disaster recovery. And by the way, in our case, what does it mean, disaster recovery? It means that you can migrate the data in between of platforms. So in our case, if, for example, you have lost the access to your Bitbucket, you can easily migrate this data to another platform like GitHub, GitLab. Because in terms of Jira, it doesn't apply because there is no analog of Jira, right? So in terms of Jira, you can migrate the data from your old account to the new account, or from, for example, from Jira Cloud to your local computer. So again, just to concluding all of that, if you are looking of any kind of certification, it's very important to have the backup of your data. It's like mandatory, and to test the recovery of your data. So for us, the approach is very simple. We believe that like backup is kind of easy part. What is more important, to have the possibility to recover your data. And for us, security is also very like a huge issue. So we always give you the possibility to recover all of your data and keep your business running. So again, the last slide about compliance. With Git Protect, you can meet all the requirements for all of those compliance. So again, you have the immutable backup storage, you have the possibility to recover your data granularly and disaster recovery, your backup will be automated, retention policy with auth is unlimited, and also you have the audit-ready reports. So the second reason why, so the first was shared responsibility model, then we talk about the compliance, and the third reason why is it important, because there is a lot of threats. If you guys take a look at this slide, how do you think, which threats are like for you really an issue right now?
So for me, it's mainly the accidental or intentional deletion.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, legal and compliance often come up with just even signing contracts, etc. So it's barriers. But I think AI is coming in there.
Mm-hmm.
What about anyone from the audience?
I was going to say supply chain through external threats.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, so absolutely, like all of them are threats, and um, uh, even for example, AI, you see two letters here, but for our content team, it took quite a while to write these two letters here because they were analyzing a lot of materials. And overall, right now with AI, you don't have to be a Fortune 500 company to be under attack. You can be some middle-sized business and you are already under attack, right? And even natural disasters, when I saw that, for me, it was quite interesting. How is it possible? But for example, there is company which is called OVH Cloud, and they were on fire. Like their data center was on fire a couple of years ago in Strasbourg. But yes, as you told, guys, like in our case, to be honest, 80% of the customers are those who have been through some issues because of someone deleted something by accident. That's really like the issue right now. But all of the rest also counts, and I will explain why. Yeah, so as I told, 80% of our customers is like it usually starts like with junior Jira admin did something, but it's not all the time junior. Like in our case, we have the story that our CTO, he by accident deleted our entire roadmap, and he was super happy that he had Git Protect and he could recover all the data really fast. But now the question is how long you can work without your Jira. So what is your recovery time objective? And that's a question which I'm asking to a number of my friends or overall developers who work with Jira as their main platform. And overall, the answer is we don't work. When we don't have the access to our Jira, we don't work at all. So usually it's the answer of developers. In terms of managers, it's like we can work up to 2 days, but overall, if Jira is down, we don't work. So that's why we believe that our product, it's not that we believe we do really do that, that with our product customer, they can really load this recovery time objective. Like our last customer, the huge company, they did it from 2 weeks to 1 day, even during the time of testing of our product. Okay, so what are the scenario examples with Git Protect? If someone has deleted something by accident, you can use the granular restore feature. If the account is compromised and the project are wiped, you can use the full disaster recovery. And if there is some problem on the, for example, Jira side, you can use the cross restore option. Also, it's important to mention that sometimes Atlassian has outages. I don't like the slide. I don't like talking about that because Atlassian is my, of course, favorite company and it kind of changed my life. I'm not telling that because I want to compliment. I just really, it changed my life 10 years ago when I started work in IT company. So yeah, but sometimes it goes down. It never happened that Atlassian went down completely. But I think from time to time, some regions. So, for example, the biggest problem they had was a couple of years ago, and around 800 of their customers, they didn't have the access to their data for almost 2 weeks. And the problem was that it was like enterprise level customers. So we can kind of calculate how much it end up for 800 enterprise level companies not to work for 2 weeks. Okay, now one of the questions which we are getting from the customers is about the Atlassian native backup. Atlassian has released their backup a couple of, I believe it's already months ago because we were already talking about that with them in Barcelona. So we believe it's a good product, but there is Atlassian is not a backup vendor, right? So we are the backup vendor. So that's why I will just mention what are the main key differences between our product and Atlassian. First of all, we have to understand that Atlassian released it in a beta version right now, and only for enterprise level customers. And as soon as it will be available for everybody, it will be the paid app. So it won't go like by default with your Jira, you will have to pay for that. So now the question is, if you have to pay, choose the right product for you because you have to pay anyways, right? So, for example, with Git Protect, you are getting the full scope of your data is covered. As I told, assets are protected with their original IDs, and we really have the rich metadata backup. Talking about the schedule, I think in terms of Atlassian, you can do you can back up your data only once per day. In terms of Git Protect, you can choose multiple schedules. For example, you can back up your data, like you can make a full copy every week, for example, or then incremental copy even once per hour to your Jira. So it's totally up to you. For example, you want to back up your data in the end of the working day on Friday. That's also possible. So I believe that our backup policy overall is much more flexible. Talking about storage. So as I told, you are granted with Git Protect free unlimited storage based on Wasabi. If you want, you can add any other storage you want, and it's up to you how many storages to add, right? And also we support the on-prem storage. In Atlassian, you will store your data in their storage for 2 more weeks, and then you can export the data to AWS for 30 more days. And in this case, your data will be basically stored for 45 days, right? In our case, the data retention is unlimited. So we store your data totally unlimitedly. And for a number of companies, it's not enough to store their data only for 45 days. Then we give the possibility of granular restore and granular backup. So in case you have some important projects you want to back up first, or you want to back up them, let's say every hour, you can do that. And you have the possibility of restore your data granularly. So for example, someone has deleted something by accident, you don't have to recover your whole Jira instance. You just recover this separate project issue roadmap wherever you have lost. Also, we give the possibility of disaster recovery. So in case Atlassian is down, you will still get your data back. Then we are giving you the possibility of many restore targets. So as I told, you can recover your data from the new Jira account to the same Jira account, to the old Jira account, or even to your local computer. Also, we have the possibility of anytime restore, and also we have the possibility of non-user restore option. It's a very common case in terms of acquisitions of the companies, so you don't have to recover all the users in your Jira. And as I told you, can also cross-restore between the instances, cross-restore information, and also from the sandbox to production and vice versa. Yeah, so I think I overall mentioned all the important features here. Yeah, as I told, our data retention is unlimited. As long as you are our customer, your data will be with us. And overall, our approach is that you have to follow 3-to-1 backup rule. It means that you have to have 3 copies of your backup in 2 different locations, and one has to be outside of your organization. In terms of Atlassian, your data is kept inside of your platform, which is, I believe, not the best approach to the backup overall. So when you're building your backup strategy, what is important according to our vision? First of all, you have to have the full data coverage. If you're doing the backup, it has to, everything you have has to be backed up, right? Retention has to be unlimited. You have to have the chance to store your data in different locations, and it's up to you where to store your data. You have to have the possibility of granular restore and granular backup. Then you have to be ready for every scenario. So that's why you have to have this disaster recovery possibility. And then you have to have the possibility to restore your data whenever you want. Also, if you wanna add any other platforms, I believe that you might be using GitHub, GitLab, all of that. You have to have the possibility to be protected all under one umbrella. So how does the product work itself? You are adding your organization, you are scheduling your backup, and you are choosing what do you want to protect. Then the backup is ready, and in terms of recovery, you have this no user recovery option. You can recover your data from cloud to cloud, cloud to local. You have granular restore, disaster recovery, point in time restore. So for example, you had the incident on Wednesday, you go back to Tuesday and you get your data from Tuesday, and then you can export your data to the same account or to your local device. Also, by the way, our product might be used as a data migration product, and in our case, you can migrate the data in between the regions, and it's very, very important because I know that a number of other vendors, they don't support this feature. So for example, one Jira instance is in Europe, and another one is in Australia or US. It doesn't matter, you can migrate the data. And as I told, you also can migrate the data from sandbox to production and vice versa. So I believe this is my last slide, and I'm ending up this presentation. We can switch to the questions if we do have any. So overall, when we talk about the data recovery and backup, what we believe is very important. First of all, it's important to have this no-code solution, right? So you don't to spend any additional time to understand. It's very easy in usage overall, so it's understandable. Then your backup schedule has to be flexible. It has to be up to you when to back up your data, what data is important for you. It doesn't have to be only once per day. It's totally up to you. Then the first copy always will be the full one, and the next one will be incremental and differential. Then you don't have to check every morning what's going on. If your backup is ready, you will simply get your notifications through webhooks or Slack or email that everything is great. In case you have any issues, you will also be alerted. Then you can grant as many admin accounts as you want. And by the way, you can divide them into being just a viewer or, for example, real admin. So it means that not everyone will have the access to your backup. Talking about the storages, you have the multiple storages in use. So again, it's totally up to you where to store your data, in which storage, or even locally. And also, you will get your monitoring SLA reports. You have this possibility of disaster recovery. So in case Atlassian is down, you will still recover your data. You have the possibility of cross-restore in between the platforms. It's important in terms of Bitbucket because you can restore the data to GitHub, GitLab. And also you have the possibility of granular restore. Again, it's in terms of when someone deleted something by accident, you don't have to restore your whole Jira instance, just restore whatever you have lost. And our approach to anti-ransomware protection is very important because we are from the cybersecurity background. So the question is, who can have the access to your data? Like, do you see, customers usually ask, do you see our data? We don't, because first of all, your data is encrypted and you can use your own encryption key. Your data is in unreadable format and you cannot change your data. So that's our approach. Yeah, and I think this one is the last one. So according to Gartner, right now only 15% of the companies, they believe that backup is important, but in a couple of years, up to 75% of enterprise level customer will back up their data. And I believe those guys, they know what they do and they understand why backup is so important. Okay, thank you for your attention. I think
Good. Thanks, Christina. I have a couple of questions.
yeah.
And I know there's been a few coming through. I know Luba has responded. And we've sort of spoken about, okay, there's limits with inside Jira and with inside, say, Bitbucket for what tier. So if you're on standard, you're limited to 250 gigabytes of data. But sounds like there's no limits to Git Protect. Git Protect will back up whatever data is required. There's no sort of limit on that.
Luba, can you take this question or I do?
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand actually the idea of the question because if we're talking about storage, so if you'd like to choose any platform and store the backups at the dedicated storage, so there is no any limitation at the storage end.
Yep.
But I'm not sure
So-
if you're asking about the storage, maybe you're asking about something else. But relatively to the storage, first of all, you have this option to choose your own storage and control your own storage. You can select any kind of storage, cloud-based or on-prem storage. So it actually depends on your use case. And additionally to that, always you'll have Git Protect cloud storage, which is also unlimited. So of course, if you start, this storage will have a specific amount for the free space, and accordingly, it will increase so you can store as much data as you need.
Okay, great. So it's really about, what plan you are on Jira or Confluence when that comes available to Git Protect, etc. So they've got limitations on the size of that you're allowed to have inside their products and Atlassian's. But from a processing point of view, Git Protect will do it. It will, there's no specific limit that you've identified. So if it's
No,
a
and we do-
terabyte of data in Jira, it's a terabyte of data can be backed up.
Yeah, also we do, as I told, we mostly work with enterprise level customers, is a huge companies, and I've asked our CTO recently if we did have any issues like with the data itself, and he told like no, never. So yeah, for
Yeah,
us.
and as Lou was saying, it gets backed up into your own either Amazon S3, Microsoft Azure, Shepherd, whatever it might be, and so therefore it's your own. It's in your control, basically in your build. There was another question around Git Protect from a point of view of versioning. So, say versioning of the Git data, is that all honored? Is there any limitations, etc. In from a point of view of is that it's not just coming from Git repositories, is it just taking the latest, or is it taking, because it's kind of hard because you're talking about versions of Git of repositories and data inside those, and then you're talking about backup versions. But it will back up the entirety and honor the versions in there. Is that correct?
Yeah, so in terms of Gits, we like for us it's important the number of repos, not the size of the repo. And
Right.
that's also like how we charge our users. In terms of Jira, it will be users. In terms of Gits, it will be just number of repos. For us, size doesn't matter.
Okay, so number there. Okay, and is there like from a sizing perspective of is there any so Git backup by Git Protect, is there only one version or is there like an advanced plan or anything of that nature? No, it's just
Yeah,
one.
so right
Yeah.
now we do have two plans. The one is for smaller teams, the other one is for enterprise level. But I believe like the main difference is kind of support. Yeah, but overall we will be working on our plans because you know that Atlassian is right now they will be introducing like kind of changing because you will be able to sell your product as a bundle, and I think we will be taking part in that because we also would like to include Confluence and Bitbucket, and it will be like one product. So right now, you know, we are, you know, in the process of changing all of that, but we are very transparent, so our prices are on our website and also on the Atlassian Marketplace.
Yeah, great. Um, so I think that answers the questions which we've got in the chat. Feel free to add some more. But I was interested because it was seemed to be Microsoft 365 was on your roadmap, and doing some backups for that. So I know you haven't spoken about that today. I'm not sure if you're prepared to, but there are some pages about it, and I think that's really um, good from a point of view of we are seeing quite a few customers that are actually, they live and breathe inside Jira and Confluence and do their backups, etc. Sorry, they're using Git, but they are heavy users of, say, Microsoft 365. And yeah, so I was just wondering about those, and have you got anything you can share about that timeline or anything?
Yeah, overall, this Microsoft 365 is part of our Xoparo business, right? But
Yeah.
as we have a lot of demand for that in terms of Git Protect, we are right now want to add this to our Git Protect portfolio. So
Yeah.
I believe very soon you will be simply able to connect your M365 to your Git Protect instance. So again, it's in process, but it will be available very soon because I know that we are transferring it to Git Protect.
Yeah, okay. So it's a product that's been around for a while, and basically you're retrofitting it, if you like, into Git Protect, or that's good to know for people. Is there any other ones that you can share about the future on your roadmap? And don't feel that you're under pressure, but is there
Uh,
anything that's publicly available or whatever that's on
Yeah,
your
yeah,
backup plans?
absolutely.
Yeah.
We are, you know, everything we are doing is based on the customers' feedback, what people want, what is the demand.
Mm.
So right now, what we are trying to do, first of all, we will be backing up Jira product discovery, and also we will be adding marketplace apps into our portfolio because you know, sometimes customers they ask, okay, what do you don't protect inside of the Jira? And we say
Mm.
that it's unfortunately marketplace apps because it's kind of like from technical point of view, it's not that easy. But we have a huge demand for X-Rate and for Script Runner. So
Right.
those two will be the first one added to our portfolio, and I think it will be Q1 2026.
Right.
And we will be adding more and more apps. We are talking to Tempo as well about that. So that's our roadmap.
Tempo, who are they? I've forgotten about them since you've joined Git Protect. Anyway, the other uh, thing I was going to ask about, so if organizations create their own Forge apps, is that actually backed up data they might have in there? Because that seems quite complex from a point of view of, yeah, I was just wondering about that.
Mm, like overall, Git Protect is on Forge. Like our app is
Yeah.
also on Forge. But talking about others, to be honest, I don't
Yeah.
know. Like how do they back up their Forge apps? Maybe Lubo, you have a bit more insights about that.
I know from other companies they're struggling right now because a lot of companies have this Atlassian Connect implemented and they are forced to move to the Forge, and it's a huge issue actually for most of them. So we'll see, I would say.
Yeah, no worries. Yep. Okay. I think it's a complicated space. for backup and what's really critical for organizations to back up, and you can get caught up as well on some of the smaller issues, but a backup there is really the amount of certainly small businesses I know who have stuffed up their backups over years, and now they pay attention to it. And we had an organisation here as a large Australian superannuation fund, which their cloud provider deleted their instance or equivalent. I'm summarising here, I'm not using names. And so what happened is, because they had such rigorous backup procedures, etc., they're able to get up and running on another cloud provider and get working within a week. So, okay, it was 5 business days being unavailable, but because of their procedures, it was only 5. And because of what they'd done and their planning, etc. There's a bit of a write-up about it with the errors and things. But it was a cloud provider that I understand that unfortunately stuff that caused the problem. But in any case,
Yeah, backup is kind of insurance of your business, and we have a number of customers who come up and they had some issues, and then the question is raised like, how come we didn't have a backup at all? Like, how is it possible that we didn't think about that, about some accident before it happened? And by the way, in terms of accidents, usually, as I told, someone deleted something by accident or not by accident. So, for example, they had some issues, some disputes inside of the company. Someone is leaving the company, and on the last day, he's deleting some important information in Jira, and you never get it back. So that's also a topic.
we know just from our business, we record all our time inside Jira, and then we were having some challenges in regards to people thought there was some funny business going on with some of the times. It wasn't. It was just, as most of the time, it is user error, but we're able to go to the backups and be able to point out it wasn't. And it was like just human error. But yeah, really, really important. But anyway, thank you so much for presenting, Christina, and for being back up there, Luba, to the technical questions. Really appreciate it. We'll put this onto our YouTube channel and let people know when it's available. And yes, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting us. We really appreciate that. And let's stay in touch. In case you have any questions, in case you want to demo, reach out to us. We are happy to help anytime.
Excellent. Thanks
Thank you.
all.
Have a great evening.